My name is Daniela. I'm the chair for the Biomedical Society. The point of this event is to give you a chance to ask any questions, and we're going to tell you a little bit about the society as well. You'll get to know our committee. Um, so we'll start by introducing the committee. So as I said, my name is Daniela. I'm a second year biomed student and the chair for the society. We do have one of our committee members who couldn't make it today, but she says hello to everyone. Her name's Sultana, and she's one of our third year reps, also studying biomed. So now I'm going to hand over to each person in our committee so they can introduce themselves and tell you a bit about what they're studying, what year they're in. So I think first we're going to hear from Lisa.
Hi guys, my name's Lisa. I'm a first year cardiac physiology student and I'm the secretary for the Biomedical Society.
And now we're going to hear from Lucy.
Hi guys, I'm Lucy. I'm a second year biomedical student and I am the treasurer for society.
Nina.
Hi guys, I'm Nina. Apologies, I look rubbish. I just came back and turned my computer on. But anyways, I'm in my final year of biomed and I was oh my gosh, final year of biomed and oh my days, what did you say again?
Our lead representative.
Oh yeah, I'm leader rep. Sorry guys, this is new to
No,
me too, but I'm excited to see everybody.
we're all a bit nervous if you couldn't tell. It's our
Yeah.
first event, so bear with us. Next we've got Sumaya.
Hi guys, my name's Samaya and I'm a second year biomedical science student and I'm the second year rep.
Millie.
Hi, I'm Millie. I'm in my second year. I'm a biomedical science student and I'm also a second year rep.
And Eleanor.
Hi, I'm a second year biomed student and I'm a second year rep.
Okay, so now that you've met our committee, we're going to get on to answering some questions. We're going to start off by answering questions that have been sent to us via our social medias. So if you haven't already followed us, then we have a Facebook account and an Instagram account. Both can be found at Mmubms or equally MMU Biomedical Society if you search in. We also have an email address which you can find on the Union website. So I think we're going to start with our questions. So first we have Lucy, who's going to be answering the first question.
I wasn't off mute. Okay, so the first question we got, which we did get quite a lot actually, is how do I join the society? So all we're asking is that you are a student at Manchester Met. You don't need to be a biomedical science student, so if you know any people, any friends that'll be interested in the same sorts of topics, like any trips that were going on, we're not quite telling you exactly what we're wanting to do yet. I think Daniela's going to talk about that a little bit more towards the end of the meeting. But you can search for on the MMU Union on Google, sign in with your student email and password, and type Biomedical Society into the search bar. If you request to join, we don't have like an extensive kind of getting in kind of process. We will just accept you. And we hope that you really enjoy being a part of the society. We are taking on anything that you want to bring into the society. So if there is any trips or anything that you can think of or anything you want to see from us, just let us know and we will try and do as best we can with that. You'll receive a confirmation email when you have joined. Alternatively, we do have a link tree in our bio on Instagram. So if you haven't followed that, it is at MMUBMS. And on our Facebook page also, which is also the MMU Biomedical Society. And it'll take you straight to joining the society and other links that you might find helpful from our resources. Our society is free this year, so feel free to make the most of it while it is free. And yeah, we're hoping to put a lot of events on for you, so we hope that you enjoy it.
Next, I think Lisa has a question. Is answering a question.
So a question is, do you have to be studying biomed to join the society? And no, you don't. I'm personally a cardiac physiology student, and you just need to have an interest in science, and you need to be an MMU student, and you are able to join. And you can also have an interest in our academic events or social events, or if you have friends on the biomed course, so you can interact and meet other people as well who are interested in the science field.
Thank you. Another question that we got was, how do I get experience as a first year student? And I think this also applies to any year, to be honest. If you're getting experience in biomedicine, the best place to look is in hospitals and other labs. You can find these opportunities through the careers team, who are really great. You should have, if you're in first year, a seminar coming up soon that will be talking to you about the different careers services that we have at the university, and they are really great. Like, do take advantage of those. And also on the Moodle under life sciences, there is quite a lot of resources that will talk you through the careers service and how you can get in contact with them. Equally, you can look for those experiences yourself. A good place to go is NHS Trust websites. They usually always have a section that's on work experience, or at least like volunteering of some form. They'll word it slightly differently. If you're struggling to find it, use a search engine and hopefully something comes up. If not, the best thing to do is to try and get in contact with people who work at those labs and email them directly. So a good way to do that is through LinkedIn, and even if they went to our uni, they're alumni. It'd be really great to get in contact with them, and they can either help you out with getting experience where they work, or kind of give you a general advice on your career. It is very competitive, especially at the moment, with places doing a limited kind of service due to COVID. But if you are on top of things and you email people and are very proactive, then you should be able to find some sort of work experience. I think Nina's going to answer another question for us now.
Yes, my question is, can I join on professor's research project throughout uni? Of course, this definitely depends on what year you are. If you're first and second year, you may find it's a struggle to ask, just because, of course, whenever professors, they are researchers at the same time, they are funded by the government, so they do acquired a skill set they lean towards more mature students, just of course because they have the skill sets there and they're already used to labs and they have the experience. I'm not saying this is an impossible opportunity. It rarely may occur that you could join, just really depends, but it's not impossible. But I would not be disappointed if you were rejected, just solely because of course you're being careful because you're having a funded project, and that you just really need to have the necessary skills to be able to fulfill that duty. But if you are solely worried about getting experience, there's so many different opportunities outside the uni, inside the uni. So even if you do not find a place or get to work with other professors in the research project, that is not the end. You have so much opportunities out there. You can go on just the NHS Trust website, try and find more opportunities there, or even there's even enhanced third terms that the uni gives, such as lab projects. So no matter where you find, even if you get rejected, there's so many different doors for you to like open and see. So there's endless possibilities, endless opportunities. So never be discouraged by just one simple no. So no matter where you do, no matter where you ask, you'll find an opportunity. So don't worry about that.
Thank you. I think Millie's got our next question.
Okay, so my question was, what can I do on top of my degree to improve my prospects? And for this, I'd say the best thing to do is look at extracurriculars if you have the time to do that. So there are loads of opportunities with the union about volunteering. The uni also has loads of sports teams that you could join, from beginners up to competitive levels, men's and women's teams, different sports. You can get involved in different societies. and you can try and become like year reps for societies, which looks good on your CV. And then the uni also run networking events, which is a good way of improving your prospects in like your degree side of things rather than like the social aspect of uni. But there are loads of opportunities available and they're easy to find.
Thank you. I think Lucy has the next question.
Okay, so the question I got was recommended books for first year. Now, I'm assuming that it came from a biomed student. Unfortunately, I can't advise on any other topics, such as different courses that you study, but I can advise what books helped me in the first year. They may not necessarily help you, so again, it is just from my point of view. But I would possibly recommend Thrive in Physiology. If you do have Ian Kay, probably has spoken about it before. So Thrive in Physiology is obviously it's your basics of physiology, and it's all put together. And with him being obviously a tutor and a lecturer on the subject of physiology, it is really, really helpful. Human Physiology, the 5th edition by Pocock, is also a very helpful resource. I did actually buy the Thrive in Physiology and Human Physiology books together as a bundle, so sometimes you do find that the university offers these. Sometimes it is worth just checking in the library and seeing if you can rent it out. Obviously, there are new things with the library now, and you do have to check online to see what's available, due to obviously the COVID restrictions and things. But another book that I'd say definitely helped was Mastering Biology by Campbell, and this is fully online. It's a full online resource. You can get the hardback version in the library, but it is a very, very big book. So unless you have a massive suitcase with you, probably wouldn't recommend bringing it. But it is available online, and the university will help you get access to it if you just request it. In your first year, you probably will find that they gave you access to it anyway. As this is a whole new teaching style this year, obviously I can't say for sure that they are the exact books that you will be using, but that is what we found most helpful in our first year. But yeah, I'm hoping that those books will help you out, because they did me, and I still find myself looking back at them now. So definitely check them out if you can.
I think regardless if the university are using it, you'll hear about the physiology book from Ian Kay when you do your physiology module if you're first year. Don't worry, like it'll be mentioned every 5 seconds by him. I think the next question is from Eleanor.
Hi, so somebody's asked, how do you choose what to do an essay or assignment on? So it depends whether you have the opportunity to choose the assignment for yourself. If the lecturer has given you an assignment, stick to it, just keep it relevant and make sure you don't go off topic. But if you do get to choose, then I'd say go for something that you're passionate about, because if you're passionate about it, you'll do a lot better. But don't go for anything too difficult but too easy either, because that's when you're going to lose marks. And just keep it relevant. And so if the lecturer does give you recommendations, that's just try to branch out a little bit, do some extra reading maybe, and you'll earn many more marks because of that. But I'd say that when you are doing your assignments, try to use relevant resources as well, like PubMed is a good one, Web of Science or Google Scholar, and just make sure that you're referencing right, and yeah, just keep it relevant.
Next question is from Sumaya.
So the question that I got was, what career paths can I go into? So the biomedical degree can open many doors to many different career paths. You can even get into like law. So I have a list of different career paths. So obviously the first one being biomedical scientist. There are careers in biological, pharmaceutical, clinical, medicinal, and public health studies. You can train in specific specialisms, so like cardiac physiology, immunology, hematology, and many others. You can go into research work or postgrad medicine. You can also
go into postgraduate physician's associate studies. And you can even take your skills with you into government, business, law, like literally anything. There are a lot of possibilities that you can go into, and the uni has a careers office that you can go into. They have CV drop-ins, and you can also have discussions about what careers you can go into if you're really unsure. There's also a lot of networking events where you can meet with a lot of different companies that come, even the NHS comes, and you can learn what's available for you. With the Biomedical Society, we're planning on bringing in different people to talk about what they've gone into from studying biomed. And hopefully that will give you an insight into their experience and how they got there and what you would need to do to achieve the same. So yeah.
Thank you. Next we have Lisa.
So the question is, are there any opportunities to transfer to a different course? So if you're unsure about the course you've chosen, there are plenty of people you can talk to. I'd recommend talking to the careers team, who maybe can help you discover a different pathway to your dream career. Or if you seek support, reaching out to your personal tutor for advice is always a good idea. I recommend doing some work experience within a field of your interest to find out if you see yourself in a particular job role in the future. Do some research on the modules that you'll be studying and find out if there's an opportunity to do a placement year. If you have decided that you definitely want to transfer course and have a course in mind, then you need to check if you meet the entry requirements for your new course before you apply. If you meet the requirements, then the next step is to go to the Student Hub and ask for an internal course transfer form. This is where you fill out all your details and complete a personal statement. The personal statement doesn't have to be long, just a side of A4. It's important to note that you should do this maybe before Christmas or around the first or second week of January. This is because it's the UCAS deadline for students and colleges. There's a possibility that you could apply after January, but on some courses there might be an interview or spaces might be taken up quickly, so I wouldn't want you to miss out. This means you should email the head of department for your new course to ask if it's still okay for you to apply. In terms of student finance, you're eligible for 4 years worth of student finance, so if you decide you want to transfer within your first year, you still have another 3 years of student finance left. If you have any issues with funding, then always contact the Student Advice Centre. And also, we're always open to any messages if you need any help. If we can't answer your questions, we will point you in the right direction of someone who can. I personally changed from biomed to cardiac physiology, so this is my second year at uni, and I've gone through the process, so if you need any help, then let me know.
And the next question is working and studying manageable at the same time? And the answer is yes and no. It really depends on you if you can manage the workload on top of working. It is doable. It will be hard. And as I've just started working a new job before university started, and now as we're in the second week, I'm just getting used to working about 20 hours a week alongside university, and it is hard, but if you're on top of things, if you're motivated to do well in uni and keep working at the same time, I know for some people it isn't an option to not work, then it is doable. So, but you also always have the support of the uni, where, like Lisa was saying, not just for if you're looking at funding, if you are in any financial difficulty, the uni can talk to you and kind of talk you through those issues and try their best to help you with those sorts of things. So it's doable to work. Don't be disheartened by a lot of lecturers saying, oh, you shouldn't work, but it is a big task. And the next question is from Nina.
Yes, so my last question I got, is there any tips for revision, writing assignments, and lab reports funny question. It applies to all of us. I'm not a professional, but obviously I'm in my final year, so I've gone through these obstacles myself. I would say I'm gonna give a kind of generic way that applies to majority, but it will not fit for everyone. First of all, find a way that works for you. Not everyone's the same. You learn differently, and don't be stressed about how someone is ahead of their work. You slow down, you take it bit by bit. The thing that I see students struggle with during this course is the fact that they get the content and then they procrastinate. They see it as, oh, it's a little bit, I can do it later. And then you say it the next time. So I think just doing a little bit by bit, it may not seem like a big thing. You may be like, what's the point? It's only like paragraph or two, but it does add up and it does prevent you from burning out and being overwhelmed when you see that massive amount of work you have to do 1 or 2 weeks before exams. Because honestly, it's not the ideal situation to be in, knowing you have to like juggle so much content in the span of like 1 week. So I'd say definitely pace yourself, set yourself a schedule, and don't be disheartened by the fact that you feel like you're not doing enough. Doing a bit is already taking you somewhere, so don't ever feel discouraged. Also with writing assignments, just do your extra reading. It may be like a pain, especially for me. I'm just like, oh, I don't want to look at my recommended reading. I don't want to look at these journals, but there has to be a time where I have to sit down. I gotta go like work. So I'd say do a bit of research, do a bit of reading, look at your assignment briefs and marking brief as well, because it does give a lot of advice on where you're going to get the marks. And there's so much support everywhere. You can ask your peers, you can ask your personal tutors, you can ask your personal support tutors, and there's also different workshops available in the uni, so there's support anywhere else. And remember, we're all in the same boat. We've all been through this, so you're not alone. Don't be scared to say that you're struggling, because we all are at some point. Also with lab reports, I just say read over your lab report, see what you can do, and you don't need to know 100% of it before you go into labs. Just do a bit of reading, just familiarize yourself with the process, and then just enjoy. Honestly, like that's the thing that most students miss out. They don't enjoy, and they just see the hardships of the whole academic process. Enjoy your degree, because it flies by, honestly. So don't stress out, enjoy it, and do as much as you can, really. So that's me.
Thank you. So I'm just going to quickly, that's it for the questions that we have that have been asked through social media previously. I'm just going to give you a quick overview of the society and what we kind of want to be doing in the next year. So we are a new society. We kind of started coming together towards the end of last year. This is our first kind of welcome and freshers. This is the very first event. But in terms of future events, we're hoping we will be doing events which are both academic careers events, and also we want to do social events too. So the academic careers events might be, as I think Samaya was saying, about having people come in and talk to us and give and we can interview them and as to how their career path has gone, and it will give you an overview of all the different careers that you can go into and the different experiences that people who have studied biomedical science have. That doesn't mean that if you don't study biomedical science, it won't be useful to you, because it can be good to see how someone has gone from a certain degree to maybe something completely different. Like, all of it will be useful if you're doing a science-based degree, or even if you're not. So I'd still recommend kind of having a look at what events we are running that are more academic based. And equally for social events, we're obviously limited at the moment in that we can't hold in-person events, but hopefully once that is possible, we can see everyone in person. We can do the usual society things, pub crawls, movie nights, pub quizzes, non-alcoholic events, because I know that isn't something that everyone is interested in, and a lot of other things. We're going to be offering resources that are to do with university and careers and well-being, and we have Black History Month coming up, and I think we're going to see about putting our resources to do with that. So that will primarily be coming out through social media. So as we've said a few times, do go follow our Facebook, Instagram. If you are, which I think most people on here will be, if you are a member of the society through the union website, we can send you emails also with resources on them. And just if you can keep an eye on us as much as possible, we can give you all of our resources, everything that we're kind of doing, we can get out to you. So cover your bases, follow us everywhere you can. Projects wise, we are wanting to get involved in a few projects. We have a few kind of things that we're looking at to do diversity at the moment, but I'm sure there'll be other projects that kind of come to us and we are like interested in getting involved in, and you'll hear about those throughout the year, and we'll make them something that is not just something the committee is involved in, but also our members can get involved in too. And obviously at the moment we're holding this on Microsoft Teams, and we're thinking that this could be we can make this Teams into a bit of, kind of a community, and use the Teams to make sure that people are connecting in a time where we aren't really getting to see everyone face to face. So yeah, I hope that sounds good to everyone. We're now going to have a live Q&A section, so feel free to put your hand up, ask questions in the chat. This can be about the society or about starting uni if you're new, and yeah, feel free to ask questions.
Also, out of curiosity, I was wondering if whoever's maybe just started uni or first year, would you mind putting like a thumbs up in the chat just to get an idea? So no one's a first year. Is majority of people second years, or
We can't actually use the chat box.
oh, okay.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm
Sorry.
afraid.
If
Is it
people
not?
are comfortable, then feel free to take yourself off mute and speak. That's fine. So you're a first year, did you say?
Yeah, for biomed.
How are you finding it?
I mean, I feel like we've sort of been thrown into the content a little bit because it's all online and we've got no lectures and there's just like PowerPoint after PowerPoint.
Yeah, that's what it's like for us as well. I think obviously it is hard starting uni, but you aren't alone in that. Like everyone, we're all feeling it. I know this time last week, on our like committee chat, we were all just freaking out over how much work we've been like thrown at us. It is really hard, going from teaching and equally going from like college, or anything that you've done previously to go to university. It's a lot. Especially at the moment. Does anyone have any questions about the society or about anything that they would like to see from us?
Hi, I just wanted to ask about notes. I'm not sure how many notes I have to make for each lecture.
Maybe I'll try and answer this one. Notes wise, you know yourself. No one can put a limit to how much you want to write. Honestly, just take down what you know is important. It's easy for me to say, but I know where you're coming from, and there's just so much content. I understand that the transition from A levels to uni just kind of, wander around like, oh, do I need to learn this? Because at A levels, you're given all the information, whereas here it's like you can learn more information outside lectures. So what I'm gonna say is definitely look at your learning outcomes, because they usually start at the very start of the lectures, and the lecturers will like ask, this is what you have to take from this lecture. So I feel like as long as you focus on your learning outcomes and just definitely also do a bit of recommended reading because there is information outside. There's not enough in the slideshow. It's only like a brief. So of course, if you want to do well overall, you're going to have to do a little bit extra reading. But I can't tell you personally how much notes you need to write. All I know is write what you feel like is applicable to what you need to learn for exams. But for now, are you a first year, can I ask?
Yeah, first year.
Oh, you're a baby. Don't worry, honestly. Just get settled and get used to it. I know it's a struggle, but just try to enjoy it. Everyone's trying to get used to this whole online thing. So maybe, like I said, you are your own person and just really take down what you think is important. And yeah, chill out. Don't stress about it. It's your first year. Enjoy the ride, even though it seems a bit shaky right now. I hope I answered it kind of. Well,
Yeah, thank you.
no problem.
Just to like weigh in, just on the same question. Also, obviously, Nina had a really good answer there. Check your MCQs. Like I know that they offer if you're doing biomed, most do offer MCQs, practice MCQs. So what I found really helpful in first year was going through the MCQs, answering the practice ones. What did I get wrong? If I got it wrong, maybe read about the subject and read a little bit around it, because at least then you're getting a bit of extra knowledge on top. And then make notes specifically on the MCQs, because you will find that will be very helpful most of the time. So make notes on that. That is definitely a must, I think, with exams. Obviously, you might be completely different, but I found it really, really helpful in my first year. And yeah, like Nina said, chill. Honestly, it's first year. It might be a little bit different for you this year, but first year is a good year, so enjoy it. And just know that the one bonus of it being online this year is you don't get half an hour of lecturers talking to you about their favourite band. So it mostly will all be relevant what they're telling you. So just know that try and make as many notes as you can. Don't overload yourself with notes. If you think I'm not going to revise from this, then don't do it, because you're not going to look back at it. Don't waste your time with it. So I hope that helped answer your question as well.
Also try and make your notes like concise, because what I found was I made loads of notes last year and I never read through them because it was just too much. It was like paragraphs, and it's just so hard to memorize all of your notes. So maybe try and write notes, obviously, and make like flashcards. So like it's active learning, it's active recall. So you do them 1 week and the next week you test them again to see how much you know. It's active recall. You need to make sure that you like remember it in a couple of months' time. Whereas if it's notes, it just goes through 1 year and out the other. So yeah, I think that would be my advice for me if it was I was looking back like a year ago.
Does anyone else have any questions?
Hi. How do you perform well in practicals?
Oh, that's a good question. A lot of asking each of them what we're doing, to be honest. I think actually the best people to probably answer this question are probably Lucy and Eleanor, because they work together in practicals. So I'm gonna dob them in a bit and let you two answer. How do you do well in practicals together?
To be honest, I wouldn't say there's an exact art to it, especially in our case, not any sort of art. Don't be worried that when you come in thinking, oh my God, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm in second year and I can happily say, I still have no idea what I'm doing. So definitely take it on the chin, but ask the tutors in there. I mean, don't get me wrong, sometimes they can come across a little bit kind of, why don't you know this? But I mean, you're better asking than doing something wrong. So definitely ask if you're not sure on something, and there is always a lot of material online. So if you know what your practical is going to be, maybe look it up. So say if you're using a spectrophotometer or anything, look it up, see how you use it, the basic uses of it. But yeah, definitely read around the topic and read through your practical booklet or any sort of practical resources online. And don't forget that not everyone will have it in the bag. Don't worry. If you look around and you think that person's got it and I haven't, most of the time that was me and Eleanor, and we were just looking at it, not sure quite what we were doing. So don't think that everyone else has got it when you haven't. Don't panic. Just ask for help. But yeah, I think that's the best way I can answer it.
Yeah, just on top of what Lucy said, I feel like in practicals, just don't worry. And if you ever feel bad, I dropped a pipette in hydrochloric acid and swapped it round. So don't do an Eleanor and Lucy. But yeah, no, just please ask for help, because we didn't really do that until we got more comfortable, and we should have probably asked beforehand. So just ask for help. You'll be fine. It'll be fine.
I think something to remember is that I know last year it wasn't necessarily marked what you actually did in the practical, as long as you kind of got to the end of it, even if your results weren't that great for the coursework, they would give you results that matched so that you could complete the coursework without that bias. And certainly for this year, our practicals aren't part of any mark. So just use them to learn the techniques, use them to kind of take your time and get to know how you're using the equipment, rather than thinking, how am I going to be marked on this? Because in the end, it's more important that you can use the equipment well, than if you make a mistake, it's not the end of the world. Like, it's all part of the learning process.
I'd just like to mention, I don't know if it's still the same, but last year for our physiology unit, you literally got 15% just to tap in. You didn't even need to get anything right. You just had to show the lecturer your booklet at the end, and he just signs it, but he doesn't read through any of it. As long as you've written something down, he'll just be like, oh, you wrote something down, and then he signs it, and then you're done. But you need to make sure you tap in every practical, or else they're just going to be emailing you like, why do you come to the practical but you're actually there? So yeah, and also if you have your practical booklets, if you really think you will struggle, just read what that practical is going to be like the night before. If there's any words or anything you don't understand, you can just search up. You can search on YouTube as well how to use certain equipment and stuff like that. And also don't hesitate to ask while you're doing the thing. Like Lucy said, they might be like, why the hell do you not know this? And they won't be straight up with answers. Like, they won't give you the answer straight up. So don't feel overwhelmed. You'll somehow figure it out. But yeah, just don't hesitate to ask. So yeah, Daniela, you can go ahead.
I was just on you saying about YouTube, to looking at how you use equipment. I think last year they did YouTube, is that what it's called? They had little videos, short videos showing you how to use Pipette, how to use all the other equipment that I cannot remember the name of right now. So there is the resources out there for things like that. But like we said, it's all part of learning. Don't be worried if you make a mistake. It's all part of it, and you won't be penalised for that really in the end.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone have any other questions? I think that's it then. So one last thing before we finish to say is that we are actually going to be recruiting in a few weeks for first year reps and foundation year reps for the committee. So if you would like to get involved in the committee and in planning events, getting involved in the projects that we have going on, and making resources, then do look out for those posts. And we'll have a bit of a kind of process just to make sure that you're someone that we think would fit well, and I'm sure that you will be, but that's just to make you aware of that. And I think that's it for the Q&A. So everyone, thank you for coming. I think that's everything. Have I forgotten anything anyone can add?
Oh, I was just gonna say, I know this isn't the whole ideal, like, especially for maybe some first years, you're excited for freshers and stuff. Of course, we're all disappointed as well, but we do hope in the future we will get a freshers and we will get to host socials as well. But for now, this is the most safest option just by the uni, just, following the regulations and rules. But please do join. It is a start for all of us, so I would love if as much people join in and we could just make the most out of it, honestly. We obviously don't 100% know what we're doing. We're new to this. So just, I'd love to just meet everyone just to see like what ideas and stuff they have for what they expect to do throughout the year. And it's just like a space where you can have fun and just like avoid all the stress of uni sometimes and just to find some common ground with people who are in the same boat as you and just, yeah, like I said, chill out, enjoy your years. So don't stress too much about it, but
Do get in touch with us about any things that you want to do throughout the year with the society. Like Nina was saying, like you can message us on the Teams. You can message us through our social media, for our email. We'll probably have a few polls going up on the Instagram stories and things like that. Please get involved as much as you can so that we can make this society something that is enjoyable to everyone and is what you want. That's what we're here for, to kind of facilitate what you want. So I hope that's useful. This has been useful for everyone.
I just want to also let everyone know that you can find us on all different types of social media, really. We are basically on Instagram and Facebook and email. So Instagram is at Mmubms. So if you just follow us over there, you'll be able to see what we're up to. We are doing different types of series. So obviously we've got a couple of post-grad jobs type things like STPs and things like that. We do have it all up on our Instagram. We are going to try and get more out there for you for resources. Our Facebook is just MMU Biomedical Society, so if you just want to like that or anything, then you can see what we're up to over there as well. And for anything else, if you don't have social media, our email is mmubms.soc@gmail.com. So you can get in touch with us through any of them, any questions, anything, and we will try and answer them for you or find someone who can answer them for you. So I hope that is helpful.
I don't know if everyone can access the chat, but I put down all our social medias and our emails there if you didn't just quite get them.
Alternatively, they are also on the union website. If you go under societies and search Biomedical Society, they're all there for you, including the email too. So I think that's it then for today. Thank you everyone for joining and getting involved and asking questions. And we'll hopefully see you soon. Thank you.
thank you guys.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.